a new group of color variation nodes has been added to View 7, and a few metanodes for generating color as well. The metanodes can be found under the metanode group within the color node selection options. The new color nodes are color variation generators. They include the following 4 nodes: color variation, color brightness variation, 2-color variation, and a color variation map. Hidden within the output of these nodes are more options not published within the main node, meaning that the new color variation nodes are locked metanodes created by Eon. These extractable outputs can be seen when Show Parameter Connections at the top is turned on. The extractable links are 2 vector connections, wavelength and origin, and a largest feature number link. The parameters are part of fractal noise generators, so we can tell our color variation is controlled by an embedded fractal node. The largest feature appears to be left over from the internal fractal node. Making changes to this input or connecting it to another node's number output typically won't produce an aesthetic and/or useful output. Color variation nodes do not need to be connected to the position input node to return a color output. Deleting this link will result in no change to the appearance of the noise. We can, however, connect the vector link to the position options input node, thus giving us the ability to control the vector's mapping mode. If we take a look at the 2-color variation map, we will find the 4 main controls contained in all new color variation nodes. These are roughness, contrast, noise variation, and noise scale. Looking at the structure of a fractal node will help show the relationship a bit further. If you are familiar with the controls of a fractal, then understanding how to use the color variation nodes will be second nature to you. And using the node for controlling terrain materials will be much easier. Most of these controls are the same: wavelength, origin, roughness, although some controls from the embedded fractal have been renamed to make it a little easier for new users to understand the new node. The internal fractal more than likely has other nodes between these links, so the results may not be exactly the same as a true fractal node output, and is another possible reason for the name change. But the following controls will primarily behave the same. Contrast is the internal fractal's gain control. Although the contrast slider has a smaller limit, it will perform the same operation. Noise variation is the fractal's smallest feature size, and typically behaves the same way. The noise scale will result in an output similar to the new metascale feature. In the first color variation node, there is a unique control only available for this node. The strength slider will increase the brightness of the variation color while reducing its saturation amount. When using the color brightness variation, there are 3 new controls: color, brightness, and saturation variation. These 3 options work together to control the strength output of the color variation node. In this node, we have the ability to control the range of the hue with the color variation, the contrast of the color with the brightness variation, and the color intensity with the saturation variation. The 2-color variation is similar to the color variation, but with 2 colors to define and a lack of the strength control. The color variation map node replaces the 2 color choices from the 2-color node with a color map. I've created a meta node that is included with the training for the ultimate color variation node. I've called it the 2-map color brightness variation. This meta node includes the features of all the color variation nodes, with a few extra options. The only difference is the displayed slider number output, although these sliders still control the same numeric range.